Okay, we're back again. Yeah, so yeah, just the irony of it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then for him to come in and not only fucking, I mean they swapped wins, right? But for him to come back and hey honey, you wanna these little snags out for me?
Yeah, it's alright, we can cut it off.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
You're gonna take him in your room?
Desperate for some water. She was dying out there.
Rocky, come here. Rocky.
Come here, mate. It's okay. Come on, guys. Come on, Lola. Come on.
All right, so yeah, it is amusing. It is amusing. Yeah, like to call him out like that, and then just that's the thing though as well. Like it really says like there's fucking savages out there that never really, for one reason or another, they never really get the spotlight. But there's fucking people out there, man, that
for sure.
have the ability, but it just like.
And it's like everything though, timing wise, and that was
Timing,
perfect
yeah.
for him because he's old. If he had no Izzy history and if Izzy wasn't champ, he wouldn't have been able to have
He
this
wouldn't have
career.
gotten the fast pace.
No.
And he's beaten a lot of good guys, and
he's
I'm not gonna. He's earned it.
Yeah.
But I mean, his run, like you said, he did get the shortcut to that title.
Yeah. I remember it was like Andre Michailidis, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
And the dude, first fight, I don't even know who else that guy's fought. Whole first round, he gets dominated by 10-9 domination by just smothering him.
Yeah.
But you see, the dude was gassed by the second round. Like, fuck, now I'm on the feet again. Bam, flying double knee KOs him.
Yeah.
But it's like, you were fed that. But I think it was his second fight or something, and he fought that Bruno Silva. Just a smaller guy, and he was landing big shots on him and that. And I was thinking, nah, like, Perry is a beast, but MMA boxing's a bit different.
Yeah,
Someone's going to mix it up on him.
It is a big difference.
But he's gotten better. He's gotten better.
I was just touching on just how it is different though. Like you take, for example, like the Diaz versus fucking what's his name? What's that young lad's name again? That fucking
Diaz.
the Paul brother. You know what I mean? Like if that was if that was in MMA gloves, still just boxing, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then obviously Paulie Malignaggi when he fought fucking Artem Lobov. Is it Artem Lobov?
Yeah, Artem Lobov.
Yeah,
it was just,
Artem was not known as a great striker. Like he was like
been knocked out by Conor as well, like just in training.
But like he was like a 50-50 in the UFC, and he wasn't known as a great striker, and he beat a fucking world boxing champion in bare knuckle. Like it says a lot, and I think people don't see the nuance in it. Like some styles translate better when it is bare-fisted compared to others, obviously, and then you throw kicks in there, like say for example Floyd, as great as he is, if you chuck kicks in there, he's fucking
fucking Tyson Fury, he's big string bean, he's skinny, he's got legs like our mum. Like Francis, one kick, fucked.
But there's other guys that obviously do translate well, but just I think people they forget that, or just silly takes that people have. They only see the most simple things and then draw a big conclusion on it. Like when Khabib caught Conor with that eagle punch, and then I was hearing shit like, oh, he dropped Conor, oh, he could fight Floyd as well. I'm like, dude, fucking that guy's had shit hands even in the UFC. He had no head movement.
That was a big thing for a while.
Yeah, I know.
The Floyd
and I'm
fight.
not shitting on. I'm not saying he's not a good fighter. He's a great fighter. But if you go back and look at his fights before becoming champion, he was very hittable.
He's like highlight reel, where it's just like him missing shots.
That eagle punch is like is a dummy takedown and coming over the top, and it's quick. So he's kind of getting his hips low, thinking for a takedown, and bang.
I get hit by it all the time in UFC fights.
Oh yeah.
Every time someone fakes, I'm like, oh, bam.
Yeah. So it's just like Yeah, like that doesn't mean he's a great boxer.
It was clean.
Yeah,
he was clean, but Conor ate it. He ate it well.
Yeah.
It happens all the time in a striker versus grappler. Like,
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
the way it goes.
Yeah.
I saw the same thing with Justin Gaethje and Khabib. The whole time people talking about, even in a kickboxing fight, but it smoked him.
Yeah.
Are you fucking insane?
Yeah, I know.
But whatever.
It just, yeah.
That's why, like, MMA is great, and I love the grappling.
Yeah.
But when people can't at least just talk about those little nuances as
Definitely.
to why the fight went the way
Definitely.
it went.
And if
it's
you
fucking
remove
annoying.
the threat of the takedown, it very much changes the stand up, you know what I mean?
Exactly. And so, like, yeah, he bested him in that fight, almost in
Yeah.
every department.
Yeah, yeah.
But in terms of striking, who's a better striker? We're not going to go off that one fight.
Yeah.
You know, and we're not going to go off them fucking hitting the bag. We'll just go off the history of all that they've done.
Well,
And
I
Khabib
mean,
hasn't
anyone with fucking, you know, two brain cells can rub together, can really see the difference, the
Yeah.
level difference in striking.
I don't know if you want to argue like MMA striking. I
Yeah.
think it's you know, it's a big
Well,
nuanced discussion to have.
I mean, yeah, you got MMA striking, but when you've got like an overwhelming strength in your toolkit or whatever with the wrestling, you know, like you're such a dominant wrestler, that it's not just MMA striking anymore. It's that real, not just a threat, the takedown, but how good of control he has on the ground. Like he fucking mauls people on the ground. So, you know, it's not like it's it really changes the nuance of it. You know what I mean?
No, for sure. I do hate the fact though that right now, like it's pretty much all specialists as champs in terms of just cardio specialists. You know, like Marab, even Drickus to an extent. But like the Alex Behera, that's a striking specialist. He'll probably be gone soon, you know.
Yes.
But
yeah, he will be.
the only guy that I really love, even though we probably shouldn't because he knocked out our boy, is Ilya.
Yeah.
It's because he is great on the ground. He's got that whole base, but he's just fun to fucking watch.
Yeah, he's got
sick.
some. He like when he hits people, you can just see the detonation.
Oh, yeah. And he gets hit, and you can see it doesn't like deter him. Like he's a fucking fighter.
Yeah.
And I hate it. Not hate his personality, but
what?
he
How do
seems
you
like
think
a bit of a
him versus fucking
Islam.
Yeah, that is actually
Yeah, it's
pretty
a sick
interesting
fight.
because he's not a very big 145er anyway.
No.
And
But
then
he's not a big 155er, but I think he cuts a fair bit of weight to make 145. Because you know he's
Yeah.
fought at 155.
No, I didn't. Wait, in the UFC?
Yeah.
Oh, true.
It was a short notice, I think, but he fought 155 against a full 155er, Jai Herbert.
Yeah.
And he's a good striker. It's a sick fight because he gets kicked in the fucking head and he gets dropped. And I remember watching it live because I bet on him as well in a multi. I'm like, big favorite, I'll throw him in. And he gets head kicked. I'm like, oh, you fucking idiot. I'm talking shit. And he gets up. He survives well.
Yeah.
Because he gets dropped. And the dude like stands over him for a sec, kind of flexes for a sec, and then misses the big shot on the ground and pound.
Yeah.
Continues. And then in the second round, he smokes him.
Yeah.
Like ice colds him with a right hand. I was like,
He's
damn.
a fucking beast.
That-
I'm pretty scared.
that's
I'm pretty
exciting.
worried about for Volk. You know, like,
yeah.
and if
I want
Volk,
the
man,
Brian Ortega fight more than anything.
if because obviously that's the next one, right?
Wait, not Brian Ortega. I meant Diego Lopez.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because I think Lopez just beat. I don't remember who he beat. I think it was.
Are they doing that? Or I thought
nothing's official yet. But
Okay.
they've said like if Ilya fights Islam,
Yeah.
that Volk should get to fight for an interim.
Yeah,
and that would be the next.
But
in
I
line.
thought that they ended up chucking that aside, and it is Volk versus.
Yeah, I think so. Because
Yeah.
right now it's all just, hearsay. But Islam versus Ilya is just the fight I want. And then if that happens, the crumbs got to trickle down in other ways.
Yeah.
And Volk shouldn't sit there and wait for a rematch of Ilya. It's a bit silly.
Yeah.
If you could beat Ilya, then you should be able to beat whoever else they're going to throw in against you for an interim.
Yeah.
And at this point, who cares about interim belts? Just to have a fucking belt on the line and to secure this guy's next.
Yeah.
Unless it's Aspinall Jones.
Yeah.
But Ilya, like the Ilya Islam fight to me is the best fight to make, not for both divisions, but for 155. Because who else is he going to fight besides Arman? And after all that other shit, I kind of don't want to see it now. Like, I kind of want to see Arman at least have another big win.
Yeah.
Because his fight with Oliveira that got him the title shot, split decision. It's just not a lot of steam there.
Yeah.
And then there's no one else for him to fight because he goes up and fights Bilal, which he won't do.
Yeah.
And there's no guarantee that Shavkat beats Bilal. So just have this super fight.
Yeah.
And all the fans that are whinging about how, there's no win for Islam, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, it's a fucking super fight. How is that not a win?
Yeah.
And then you just can, like, all I see is them bringing up defense excuses as why it shouldn't happen. And it's always about people like us, how we complain about how his only fights are against 145ers,
Which
or
is
whatever
fair.
else.
It's a fair point.
The only one I complain about is the short notice one. That's
Yeah.
it. And then the last fight, short notice, just short notice. Like beating Volk, which he did in Oz, is his best win.
And I thought he lost it.
Yeah, so it's not that bad to just have this opinion.
Yeah.
In my opinion, his best win is the Oliveira one because he smoked him.
Yeah.
And then win or lose,
Definitely, I agree.
to Volk, that's just a sick fight.
Yeah.
But I do think he lost it too. We could obviously say we're biased on that, but we're just the way that fight's got. I thought he won 3 rounds, but also in the momentum of the arena, it felt like he was dominating that fight.
I'd have to go back and rewatch it again, but
I have.
I mean, a lot of
I can't not watch it unbiased.
yeah.
Because
you saw Rogan.
Oh, yeah.
and them
But
all like.
if you watch,
So
if
it
you
wasn't
watch
just
it,
it wasn't just the Aussies. Like
I think it was like 2, 3, 5 or some shit like that. There's 2 rounds where obviously Islam won. I think it's 1 and 4. But like I'm going off memory here, but it's like 2, 3, 5. They're the rounds, and 5 obviously Volk won. So it's like it's fine cone thing where people are, just 1 or 2 strikes. Who cares? In the heat of the moment, I'm surprised that he didn't win.
what
fucking
pisses me off though with fucking these guys is like how over these 2 fights are like. He won like 30 seconds of the last round and then got knocked out in the last. Fuck you, you know what I mean? Like, don't just rewrite
That's
shit.
why the first fight was sick, and it felt like 2 of the best fighting each other. Whereas the second fight felt like a fat dude off the couch fighting some other dude in his
Well, he was here.
hometown.
He was
he was literally in Cairns. Yeah, we knew he was in Cairns.
He was in Cairns.
He was eating pasta. Drinking wine, like eating pasta.
We have guys that come in to where I work. And they were talking about him, like they had pictures of him in there, and they were like, "Yeah, he was drinking piss and blah blah blah."
I remember
and that was like 2 weeks. 2 weeks before the fight.
You told me that because you work in town.
Yeah.
And then when you'd said it, I saw the photo not long after at the pasta joint. Because any celebs, they'll get a photo of him and the manager and put it on the wall.
Yeah.
And then at that time, all these people on Twitter making up these
I
things
know,
in their head. I saw
he was in camp.
Yeah, he knew he was going to pull out.
I know for a fucking fact that he wasn't.
I couldn't believe it because people write a narrative and then people see it and they roll it like, yeah, obviously he was sitting in the wings waiting.
Yeah. Yeah, like whatever they can boost up their boy, you know what I mean?
Then
like
when he loses and he goes, I was in Cairns, I was doing this. We live in Cairns. There's no fucking gyms here.
Yeah.
He might have like done some exercise in the hotel, caught a sweat, but he was not training.
He was taking his well-earned vacation.
Yeah.
But look, I mean, I get it. At the end of the day, he took the fight. He lost it.
Yeah. Still salty about that one. I'm only salty because then the very next fight he gets smoked again. I'm like, ugh.
And it's funny, like, not ha funny, but just how, the fact, just imagine he won that decision, right?
Yeah.
And like,
would have been
how many things, like just nuances of things can change,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, big time.
So he wouldn't have gone it, like if they rematch, he wouldn't have been, now he got the concussion from the second fight, he would have, you know what I mean? So, I mean, you never know. And that's the thing, we will never know. But, I mean, what we do know is, unfortunately, he did lose, but he would have gotten paid well. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So, and at the end of the day,
that's all that matters. It's a business for him. But it's just
he's definitely about legacy, but even more so than legacy, you got to get paid and you look after his family, like so.
Yeah, for sure. And like definitely, like you said, it's a business. But in terms of legacy, it's just little things. Just go slightly different, and a dude's legacy can seem fucking.
Well,
stellar.
BJ Penn.
Yeah, exactly.
BJ Penn. And this is a...
BJ, you see a comment on Twitter about BJ, people are like, didn't my aunt just knock him out?
Yeah, and that's right. And
it's because it's funny, because you're like, you could pull up random
street
vids.
Fight,
yeah, but it's sad.
But for anyone that never wasn't watching at the time, go
Babyface.
back and watch BJ Penn in his prime. The guy is a fucking savage.
Like
you know.
Uno fight.
Yeah,
the,
fought fucking Machida at heavyweight.
Oh, yeah.
You know, nearly beat fucking GSP and Matt Hughes when he was fat.
The
And like he
GSP
was
fights.
training twice. He was training twice a week, 2 hour sessions. Just rocks up basically half off the couch.
His corner would be like, "Get him, Hilo style."
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
like,
I mean, like,
He-
So, I
he was
mean,
a
that's
freak.
on
You've
him,
seen the
but-
video of him jumping out of the pool, yeah?
yeah.
Oh, dude's a fucking
The guy's a freak. And to circle around back to Khabib, in my opinion, BJ Penn, prime for prime, would beat Khabib. I think that his style,
You have him in that fucking rubber guard.
it's just like stylistically, he's the worst matchup for Khabib. Khabib is brilliant, right? And when you're talking about the best guys of all time, anything could happen. And like if I mean, it's a hypothetical that it was impossible anyway because we don't have a time machine. But
I know what you're saying.
Um,
for me, that's like the Tony Ferguson Khabib fight. Prime for prime, yeah, would have been sick and all
Yeah.
that. But prime for prime, I do think BJ's that guy.
He's
he would
the
have been the
guy-
hardest
yeah.
fight. Obviously,
And, like-
we never could have seen it.
and if you know you see the same two guys fight each other 3 times and all 3 fights are different.
yeah.
So, I mean, if it happened, I wouldn't be shocked with pretty much any sort of
Yeah, I
outcome.
agree.
But I think BJ Penn has the best style to beat him.
And-
He has brilliant hands, really good boxing, and that's something that is
It just
something-
scrambles.
yeah,
It
something
wouldn't be
that
where
lacks.
you can just hold
Yes,
him down and
it's
stall
something
out
that lacks for
rounds.
Khabib.
He's not going
He's
to
got
submit him.
yeah, he's got good hands where Khabib doesn't move his head well. He's not going to be afraid to get taken down. He's one of the best off of his back in all time. You know, the guy is a nightmare stylistic matchup for a guy like Khabib.
I agree. I think someone like Islam would be a tougher fight for BJ.
Yeah.
And I think
Yes,
Khabib
I
would beat
agree.
Islam.
I
It's
agree.
just-
I think Islam. Look, I don't know. That one's a harder one to say. I think BJ Penn beats Khabib, but I don't know if he beats Islam.
Yeah,
You know what I
Islam's
mean? I think
striking's pretty
yeah, and he's a massive
good. Yeah, he's fucking
155er. You know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's why him going up to welterweight's a cool fight.
Yeah.
Obviously, he doesn't want to fight Bilal, but him versus Shavkat would be pretty sick.
Yeah.
I'm not even a huge fan of Shavkat, but just stylistically, that's a good fight. It's a big boy. He can wrestle. He can strike.
Yeah.
But Ilya, I'm like, why would no one want to see it? If you can only have a fight at lightweight,
Yeah.
that's the best fight right now. And he's not even, he should have to earn it. He's a fucking champion in his own division.
Yeah.
How is that not earning it? You know, and he knocked out Max Holloway.
Yeah.
You know, like forget Volk, he knocked out Max Holloway. Like boom, Max just fucking smoked Gaethje and got knockout of the year in lightweight. So boom, give him a lightweight title shot.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah.
And then the only reason I think people are scared is because they know he's got that detonation power, and that's how Islam could lose.
Yeah.
Someone that can fucking knock him out, obviously, but not like the Andre Martinez, like he caught him perfectly when he was moving. Just knock him the fuck out. Like, all right, I'll get you. Once I get you in that spot, big fucking 10-punch combo.
Yeah.
Just one strike. No one at lightweight has that against him right now. Arman wasn't going to catch him. Obviously, Moicano was never going to catch him.
Yeah.
It was just, in my opinion, maybe a couple guys obviously catch him, but Dustin Poirier probably had the best chance to actually get him in a good little flow state and knock him out on the feet. And he had moments,
Yeah.
but you know he doesn't have the wrestling or anything else. Ilya, that's just a sick fight. And not even as a hater of anyone. I don't even. But they both knocked Volk out.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just the best fight to have in that division.
It is a really compelling fight.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see if it happens or not.
I honestly reckon it will happen.
Yeah.
Because Ilya wants it. I don't know. Who knows if Islam wants it? His fans don't want it.
Yeah.
But why? What else are you gonna do? You know.
So
and it's Abu Dhabi. Like they love big fights there. If it comes October, they're
definitely.
like, fuck it, we'll put it on.
Definitely. So, do you have any opinions on the Dubois Parker fight?
Is Dubois the one that
Recently knocked out Anthony Joshua.
that and he's the one that fought Usyk with the Like the green shot.
Yeah,
bullshit.
yeah.
Well, I
That's
assume he's got to be a big favorite, right? Or is it a close?
yeah. Nah, look,
Because I don't know.
a lot
anything
of
about-
people, give Parker a chance.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, Dubois is definitely a pretty heavy favorite, like a 65 to 70% favorite, which is still, there's
Honestly, because I don't follow boxing, and I watched a shit ton of old school boxing when I was sick.
yeah.
But in terms of current boxing, I just can't get hyped really, unless I'm hyped for a fight. Then I'll get invested into both dudes.
Yeah.
But with Usyk, I saw those fights. I was just kind of like, I don't know enough to care. And then when I saw the Alex fight, I was like, Jesus.
So you saw the first Dubois Usyk fight?
Oh, that was good. But like the whole
And-
groin shot shit.
It looked, in my opinion, what do you reckon? Do you reckon it was a low blow?
Yeah, but it's so hard to tell. Like fucking Fury will have his under his tits.
Yeah, that last fight, that was fucking ridiculous. I can't believe they let him in the ring with it. It was like up to here, and the guy's 6'8", and he's fucking like his pants are as high as my head. You know
it's
what
a
I mean?
smart
Like,
tactic, really.
it's massively smart, but I
He's
can't
always
believe they
throwing
let
the
it.
little chick
Yeah,
rabbit
bruh.
punches too.
Yeah,
Um,
I used to be a big. I was a fan, right? I don't want to say a big fan, but
Yeah.
I was a fan. Like, especially what really made me a fan is when that first why am I blanking on his
Wilder
name?
fight?
Yeah, when he got
Yeah,
when
when
he was fucking
Undertaker.
flatlined and come back
Yeah.
from the dead.
Did we watch that together? I remember
Yeah,
watching it live.
yeah, we did.
And I was like, oh, he's
And
fucking toast.
and like, so
Yeah,
in the
like-
ring, he's got massive heart and he's a
Oh, yeah.
beast. But
He's-
just
yeah.
all the other shit, which we don't need to go down, but all the other antics of his and fucking around and saying he's the greatest
he's
of
a
all
gypsy.
time. Yeah, I mean,
Says
like,
enough.
there's so many great fighters in his era that he hasn't even fought, that he has no intention of ever fighting.
Yeah.
But anyway, the Usyk Dubois fight, I think that it was kind of on the line. It looked like the punch landed on the dick root, if you know what I mean. So
Yeah,
like
I remember
right
watching-
above maybe the dingleberries there, you know.
I
So
don't even remember what round was it.
I would classify that as low, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
might not been
But
right in the
was it-
button, but
Was it like really bad? I don't fully remember why the fight stopped.
so what happened, right? What, as far as I can remember, is Usyk. He finished Dubois with a jab. If I
Really?
remember correctly, yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah,
I mean, and if you look at it the very I forgot where I was going with it, but anyway, when you look at the fight, you can see like Usyk setting a lot of traps. You know what I mean, and really dictating the range. You know, and yeah, I think that he won that fight pretty clearly. You know. Outside of the low blow, that was really the only. That's why there's the controversy, but like outside of that one moment, that was all Usyk.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, it will be all Usyk again.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I don't think there's too much dispute there.
Yeah.
Like from me at least.
Yeah.
But in general, I didn't know enough about Parker either, so I didn't even really know how to judge that fight.
Yeah.
But
Well,
either way-
Parker's been around for a while.
Well, like, if that's an undisputed fight, whoever he fights, right?
Well, I mean,
Like
yeah,
Usyk?
I mean, yeah. So whoever wins that will win the belt that he had to vacate.
Yeah.
Then he'll get 2-time
it's-
undisputed if
yeah,
he wins.
It's a sick fight for his legacy.
Yeah.
Wins that, then the next
Then
fight should be like
the Pereira one, and then
Yeah.
he's off in the sunset.
What if it's like doesn't get Pereira and he's like, fuck, I'll fight Francis. Then gets knocked out. Yes. I love Francis, man.
Dude, that fucking first Francis versus
Yeah.
Fury fight,
Oh yeah.
that is the closest. That first Francis versus Fury fight is the closest you'll ever have to a real Rocky Balboa moment.
It was
With one
sick.
guy, his first professional fight, he had no business being in there with Fury. Yeah, Fury came in out of shape, kind of like fucking bloody. Why am I blanking on the name of the character in Rocky?
Oh,
Apollo Creed. You know, not taking him
Overlooking
serious,
It really
overlooking
did,
him,
Yeah.
and then fucking dropped him. You know, like that was then gets robbed at the end. You know, like because it was close, but I thought Ngannou won that fight.
Yeah. He had
And
the
it
biggest
was like
moments.
pretty much, it was like a real version of Rocky.
Yeah.
But this is where movies and real life changes, because the second fight he got absolutely flatlined.
Yeah.
I guess that could be his Clubber Lang moment.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's fucking brutal.
Oh,
though.
bruh.
That
He
age-
cartwheeled him. Like, fucking... Yeah, he just lined him up and then like launched it. He
Yeah.
wouldn't do that with one of the other top heavyweights, you know, because
Yeah.
that's a dangerous punch to do that.
Yeah.
Because you just
It's-
if you get slipped and countered launching into a punch like that, you're gonna get fucking knocked out.
How many
but-
times did he drop him though? It was like,
I think it was twice.
oh, okay.
Yeah, I think he dropped. If I remember correctly,
It's a nasty KO.
yeah, if I remember
modern day
correctly, it was the
boxing.
first round he dropped him, and then in the second round he finished him.
Yeah.
But yeah, that first Fury fight, that really blew me away. It made me I was like a fan, but like that really made me
Well,
a fan of him. You know?
I bet. I love when you bet on a fight. Like it's like $5 little bets, but they're all just single bets.
Yeah.
So I won all the different winnings together. It was like 3 or 4 bets, but I know it was Fury to win, fucking Francis to lose, but to have a knockdown in the fight, and something else, and they went through. I
Yeah.
was like, fuck yeah, I'm a genius. Then I haven't won on like the last 5 pay-per-view main events in the UFC.
Yeah.
Like combat sports is just, it's so random. And that's
It
why I
is.
love it.
It
'Cause
is.
I really love it for
It's-
the stories, the
The
individuals.
stories, the risks are reward.
Yeah.
Like,
and even when they
it's
lose,
fucking-
I started becoming a huge Izzy fan once people started hating him, you
Yeah.
know? Because like...
well,
then when
I
he
always
lost-
hated him. So
I
mean, hate's a strong word.
I know what you mean.
But fuck that guy. Nah, like he's just like he's man. He's so unlikable. But I don't know. Maybe
it's fair.
maybe it's just me.
He does
you know?
seem you. Well, I know you're my brother. I know
Yeah.
your personality.
know me.
Clash so hard with someone like.
I
him.
always say, right, he'd be the sort of guy that if he come into the pub, I'd be like, oh, fuck that guy, like
Yeah.
this guy. But the only thing is, be like, he could kick my fucking ass, so I
Yeah.
couldn't say shit about it.
Did you see
Be like the worst type of guy, you know?
the video of that dude trying to fight him in New Zealand?
No.
He's like,
So-
he's in his car or whatever, and the dude's like pulled up next to him. I don't know, someone's caught it halfway through, so they've caught at the point when the dude's got the shirt off.
Yeah.
And he's like, come on, blah blah blah, trying to fight Izzy.
Yeah.
And Izzy spat on him, because Izzy said like I spat on him, and if he came forward, then I was gonna fucking
Easy
knock him
spat
out.
on him.
Yeah.
True.
But he like he did it in a sense where it was like I'm challenging him, you know.
Yeah.
You either gonna I just spat on you, so fair enough if you want to fight, but I'll fuck you up.
Yeah.
But that would be annoying. Some kind literally just getting in your face. He knows you're like why you probably had a few drinks, you know. But
Yeah.
for someone like Izzy, that would be fucking annoying.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't. I know you don't.
Well,
like the
fair
dude,
play
but
to
he
him,
doesn't seem
so-
like he's got the personality of a bully.
Nah.
He just seems like a very emotional, effeminate man, which
Yeah.
you don't. Which is weird. He is
Yeah,
UFC champ.
It
But-
just yeah, just his personality wouldn't drive with me. I like he's an amazing fighter. I'm not to use the LeBron James analogy, you know. LeBron James, one of the greatest players of all time, you know, have a lot of respect for the man's ability, blah blah blah. But I think he's a massive wanker. You know what I mean? I can,
Yeah.
you know,
I
I
agree.
can respect his
But he's-
ability, but
LeBron doesn't even have. At least Izzy, he's a
I
fighter.
mean, I could
so
be wrong. I've never met him, but
No,
you know, like he,
The-
you know, you see.
there's
it just
very
wouldn't
few
be.
NBA players I look at and I think you actually look like you'd be a cool dude.
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler,
Yeah,
he looks like he'd be fuck cool hanging out with him. He was I think Jimmy Butler was homeless before he's in the NBA.
true.
So you know that dude's fucking, at least now, maybe not so humble, but you know he comes
So he
from
went
humble
from a
beginnings.
parky to an NBA player. Look at this guy. Imagine refusing him.
I got to tell
no
you,
shoes.
off subject,
6'8"
I got
or
to
some
tell you
shit.
about something that happened to me at work the other day.
Yeah,
Like the chick I work with, she's Indigenous.
yeah,
And so, you know, she says some stuff sometimes just a bit out there. But we're driving, and she's like, you know, we finished up the work, so I'm driving her back to her house. So at this point, she's probably feeling a little bit good. She opened up a bit more than she ever has. And she's talking about all this sort of wild shit. But then she randomly brings up, she's like, you ever seen any robots? And I was just thinking,
What type of robots?
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That-
Is like this conversation is
really,
gonna go
yeah.
one of two ways.
Yeah.
And because of Elon and all that shit, I was just like, Neuralink or like
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
talking. Where are you going with this? Love?
Terminator.
So I was just like, maybe when I was a kid, like the Ripley's Believe It or Not.